How you guys doing? Um, in this presentation, I'm gonna talk about guys who throw you under the bus. You know, there are guys that will throw you under the bus. You know, just to make themselves look good in front of the opposite gender. We all know this. About to head into the office soon. Uh, but yeah, there are guys that'll throw you under the bus just to make themselves look good in front of the women. You got to be careful of guys like that. That's why when it comes to befriending people, you got to be very careful. you know, um, I feel dudes who throw you under the bus to gain female approval, they're just showing you their real nature. Why would you, if you're cool with somebody, I mean, you got dudes in your family, men in your family, they'll throw you under the bus just to gain the approval of women. They'll bash you, slander your name, and make you look bad. You know, they'll turn on you and bash you just so they can get the approval of women. See, you can't trust people like that. I've had it happen to me. Like, you would think family will always have your back, but like my buddy always told me, family members don't have your back. Other men in your family will turn on you just to gain the approval of women. It's evil, it's sadistic, it's demonic, but other men will definitely do this. If I was cool with a dude, if I saw some women disrespecting him, I would take up for the dude. I wouldn't bash him just to gain the approval of women. But you got a lot of men who will do this. They'll bash you in front of some women to make themselves look good. And this is very, very evil. This is very demonic. This is satanic. But you got guys that'll do this kind of stuff. Bash you to make themselves look good. If a dude is really your friend, if he cool with you, he'll never slander you or turn against you to make himself look good in front of some women. That's why I say women can break up friendships between men. Women can create chaos between men. There are women who've destroyed good friendships between men because women can cause division. And it's crazy how you have women that can cause men to turn against each other and go to war with each other, but it's real. You got dudes out there, if they see that females are not attracted to you, they'll slam you. They'll slam you. And you'll be thinking to yourself, I thought these dudes were my friends. I thought we were cool. No, them dudes was never cool with you. And they showing you their true nature by slamming you and bashing you. It's crazy how people can turn against you. This is why I say, if you're a dude that's not sought after and you're hanging around men who are desirable to women, once they find out that you're not wanted, they're going to turn on you. You better believe they're going to turn against you. This is why you got to be careful with dudes. You better be very careful with certain dudes. Because once they get the gist of certain things, once they see that you're not a desirable man, it's over for you. That's when they're going to start turning against you, and that's when they're going to start acting funny towards you. That's why you got to be very careful dealing with dudes, especially men who are desirable to women, because they definitely will turn on you. It's crazy how other men will always side with the female. They'll always take the side of the woman. they'll take her side and bash you rather than taking up for you as their homie, as their friend. It's just so evil. And I just never understood how you got dudes that can literally turn against you when they see that you're not a desirable man, when you're not one of those sought after men. They will definitely turn on you and label you as a lame. Yeah, and I used to think you could fool dudes, like I stated before. I used to think you could fool dudes and play incognito. See, in my younger days, I used to get around dudes and try to pretend like I was a player like P. Diddy. You know, wearing Sean John with toothpicks in my mouth with Atlanta Braves hats on, you know. And I used to think, you know, I could fool dudes, you know. Other dudes they can see when chicks don't desire you. You can't fool them, you know. Now I see why certain cats didn't want to let me into their cliques. And this is why they don't want to let certain dudes in their cliques, because while you think you fooling somebody, while you think you know, doing the little bops and everything, and you know, like I used to do in my young days, you know, I used to do those little Diddy bops and wearing toothpicks in my mouth, wearing Sean John. These dudes, while you think you fooling somebody, they know you're not a desirable guy. This is back in my teenage days when I was doing this stupid stuff. You know, these dudes, they knew. These dudes that I thought I was fooling, they knew that I wasn't a desirable guy. They like, this dude's so lame. That's what they were thinking back then. This dude's so lame, thinking he fooling somebody. You know, pretending to be a player like P. Diddy. That's why I had to realize it's just best to stay in your own lane and stay away from people, because people are perceptive. I know I keep stressing this, but it's true. And this is why certain guys will throw you under the bus once they see that you're not desired by women. They will turn on you. Dudes that you think are your friends, once they see you're not one of those chosen men, they against you. And they're going to write you behind off and not fool with you. They're going to be like, you know what, this dude is a square. This dude is lame. Let me get away from this dude. And that's how it was even in my teenage days. But you know, when you're young like that, you don't know no better. Especially as a teenager. Thinking you fooling somebody when you're really not fooling nobody. But you know, when you're a teenager, you're a kid in those days. You don't even know who you are yet as a teenager. You haven't really discovered your true self yet. You don't really have a true understanding of life, you know, in those young days when you're an adolescent. Looking back, you know, now that I'm a grown man, you know, looking back, I see how much I did not know in those days. But you know, it's crazy how much power women have. Women have the power to destroy friendships. Women have the power to turn men against each other and make men war with one another. It's an ugly, vicious cycle. It's a real ugly, nasty, vicious cycle. That's why it's just best, if you a dude that's not sought after, it's best for you to stay to yourself and stay in your own lane, because once dudes see that you're not chosen, you're not one of those sought after guys, they're going to turn on you. They're going to be like, this dude's lame. He's a square. I can't be seen with him. And they're going to be embarrassed to be associated with you. They ain't going to even want to be around you. You know? They ain't going to even want to deal with your behind. It's real out here. It's not a game. It's definitely not a game. But someone left a comment in my comment section, and they wanted me to talk about guys who throw you under the bus. You know, dudes who throw you under the bus over women. You know, because dudes will definitely throw you under the bus over women. They will turn on you over women. If you hanging out with a dude, he's a desirable guy, women desire him. If he feels that women ain't attracted to you, or if you don't get no play from women, he gonna cut you off and write you off as a lame and not want to be associated with you. It's real. And I used to think this is just something that occurred when you were back in middle school and high school. No, this even occurs as a grown man. You get around other grown men, they find out you don't get no box, they find out you're not a sought after man, they gonna write your behind off as a lame. And they not gonna want to deal with you. It's real. And that's what I always have to remind myself. And Bill Greathouse was so right when he said the mentality that people had as teenagers, it never goes away even when you get grown. People still had the same groupthink mentality. They still have that same labeling mentality, you know? Like people had their cliques back in middle school and high school. It never stops even when you get grown. Even when you're a full-grown adult, it never stops. It really gets worse the older you get, because as an adult, you have to acquire more. And you're expected to have more as a grown person. So it's even worse once you get grown. But the mindset that people had back in middle school and high school, that mindset never leaves. It's here to stay forever. It gets worse as you get older. And I just feel like the best way to tell if a dude is really your friend, if he see that you in a bad position, he'll still be cool with you and still have respect for you. If a dude see that you in a bad position, he see you not a desirable guy, you're not a dude that women want, and he turn on you, he was never a friend to begin with. That's one thing I had to learn in life. People who end up cutting your behind off and writing you off and labeling you as a square or a lame, they was never your friend to begin with. Dudes who end up cutting your behind off because you're not a chosen dude, you're not a desirable guy, you're not a dude that females want, dudes that cut you off because of stuff like this, they was never a real friend to begin with. They was an enemy the whole time. They was a wolf in sheep clothing. But it's crazy. That just go to show you the power that women have. Men will throw you under the bus because they see you're not wanted. It's wicked, but that just go to show you the power that women have. But you guys have a good Sunday. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. Have a good day. It's another beautiful Sunday. Enjoy.